Alright, so I'm going to try to attempt to shoot a edging video here. First video in my other working stuff. We've got a rattlesnake rifle sling here. Hopefully you can hear me. And I have ordered a lapel microphone so y'all can hear me a little better. I know it's really difficult when we're in the rock shop. Anyways, this is one of my basic rattlesnake rifle slings with buffalo and the rattlesnake inlay, and this is two pieces, of course. And I'm gonna sand these edges, and then I'm gonna pause the video. We'll go over to the other table, and I'll show you the edging process. I've got to edge this, dye the edge, and get it complete before I put the back on it. You can't do all that after the back's on it. I'll try and show you guys some of that, but I'll spare you some of the sanding probably. Could be loud, so if you got earphones on, you might hopefully don't blow your eardrums out. All right, let's get started. One more thing. So I got two different stations here. I've got this belt sander which takes the heavy stuff off. I've already trimmed this back, and but it evens everything up really good, real fast in the belt sander. And this is a much finer. I think this is 120 grit, and it's pretty well wore out. I use that. I try not to burn the edges, but if it happens, it happens. But let's do it. That's it for the initial sanding. We'll turn this one on, and we'll go with that. If I see any spots that need a little heavier sanding, we might switch back to that. That's it. You can see it got a little hot there, but it's pretty well smooth and put together here. We're going to go over to the other bench, and I'm going to bevel the edges, and then we're going to start the process of slicking the edges. Alright. Okay, I'm going to try and keep this in frame. Apparently the other one, I don't know what happened there. I was trying to hit the wrong button, and this isn't pieced together with the other one, so hopefully it does. But tell you what we're gonna do here. On my pad here to dry. Got a little bit wet to begin with. I like to wet the edge a little bit. Start getting some moisture into that edge. Then it's beveling. This is a Berry King beveler. And feels like it could use some sharpening. You always can. I usually sharpen them on a buffing wheel. But just run that bevel around there. Just like that. And we got the back side, and this is veg tan on the back side. Veg tan's tougher than the buffalo, believe it or not. I like using it for the back. This is a standard Berry King beveler, and just take that edge off. Now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go dye this edge. And I'm also going to, from this point down and from this point up, it's going to be exposed. This back's going to be covered with padding and it's pigskin. So we're going to dye this also. And I won't, this is an edging video, so I won't show you all that, but I'll be right back. Now while we're waiting on that, I'm back, and while we're waiting on that dye to dry, got a little coffee here. We'll go ahead and adjust this to my bottom strap on the rifle sling. Edge on this has to be finished also. This is a single layer. Single layer piece of 9-ounce. We're not doing anything to this. We're just beveling the edge, and then we'll slick it the first time, dye it, and come back and do the final slick at the end. I don't have to sand this or anything because it's just single layer. The sanding, in my opinion, is one of the most important factors. A lot of people aren't set up to sand it correctly. I've been to a lot of professional shops that they make a lot of stuff, they make nice stuff, but I don't know, I just don't care for their edge situation, and they really don't care about mine, or don't like it much. So just your standard slicker. This is actually just my favorite ones are actually from Tandy. I bought some from other people and other places, and this is just water and elbow grease, and you can see when you're doing this. Hopefully y'all can see that. I don't know if we can or not, but that edge there, well, just slicker and can be. And it ain't done. I mean, it's got a couple more stages to go, but it doesn't take that long to run around the edge of something. People make such a big deal out of doing edges that it really isn't that difficult. And that's just slick. And when we're done, that'll be a nice slick edge. That'll last. I like to come back and I like to run my tool around like this. Just to shake things up a little bit here. Sorry if I'm getting out of frame here. I haven't been set up like this before. I'm looking at the camera and 3-year-old's making this project. I gotta figure out the best place on this table to keep the workpiece. That's it. We're gonna go dye this. Actually, I'll come back with the other piece and we'll take it to the next stage. Be right back. Okay, here's our piece. The edges are dyed. The back that's gonna show is dyed. It's not completely dry yet. Buff that out a little bit. All this is a piece of canvas. I buy these pre-cut. I can't remember for sure where I get them from. I buy a bunch at a time, about a year's worth, and wherever I can get it from. It's not a rough canvas, but it is a canvas. But I just kind of buffs that out some. It'll get buffed one more time as the gases leave that dye. I like to use all Phoebe's dyes. There's plenty of other good ones out there, but I've learned to use Phoebe's and we get a pretty decent job out of it. So well, this actually has multiple layers. It actually has 3 layers. You got the snake skin sandwiched in there also. Get started here. This is a snake skin that a customer sent. I do a lot of snake skin stuff. The price of snake skins has gone through the roof this year. I mean, and they went up, they doubled last year and they tripled this year. So as spendy as these things are, I'm gonna have to raise the prices again. And again, you're just burnishing that edge, getting an acceptable edge. And that's where I would take that, and then from that point there's still some moisture in this. I'm gonna hit it with some saddle soap. This is Bar Glycerin Phoebe saddle soap. Used others, in my opinion, are not as good. I obviously probably haven't used all of them, so there probably is something else out there that is as good. Saddle soap really helps slick that edge down. Not as good as it's going to get. I had a friend that worked with my wife make me this. It's actually one of my favorite ones. I'm not even sure what kind of wood it is, but it's super smooth and it does a fantastic job. I'd like to have him make me some other ones, but he quit turning wood and sold all of his wood turning equipment and getting older and decided it was too hot in the summertime to be out in the shop turning wood. He did it all outdoors and we're in Oklahoma. It's hot, humid, all that good stuff, so makes it a little bit miserable if you're working outside in the summer. And the older you get, the harder working outside in that heat gets. This is an old rag, and just gonna run that over it. Wipe off any excess. Just flick it out there. I don't know if you can see that edge or not. I have no idea if you can, but anyways, it's got a pretty decent edge on there. It's nice and clean. That's perfectly acceptable. And we'll get the other piece and slick it out. I'll go grab it real quick. Alright, so we're back. And we got this piece. The edge has died. This is our little keeper piece. This project requires a belt keeper. Maybe I'll do a little short video on making that. But there's all of our initial slicking, and now we're just going to do the final, and it don't take much. And this edge will stay nice. It's not gonna start getting crazy on you. Now the leather that you're using does matter also. I mean, some leathers just don't edge very well, but I still managed to get a acceptable edge out of some stuff you wouldn't normally think you could edge with this technique. There's other techniques. People commercially, they run them over some wax and wheels and wax and pack the edge with wax and get a finished edge that way. And that works also. That's it. That's ready. This is ready. The other one's ready. So we're gonna go back on that other piece, put the padding and all that stuff on there, and do the final assembly. And this, it didn't take that long. It took longer because I had to mess with the video. But I mean, let's say you got 30 inches with that, so you got 60. So I got 120 lineal inches or so of edges that we just did, and it didn't take that long. I'd do it in half that time without the video. So there you go. That's how I finish a lot of my edges. Y'all have a good day. One more thing, I almost forgot. Smash that like button and hit subscribe. There's going to be more and more in-depth videos. They're going to get better. I mean, they're kind of low end right now, and I don't have any editing software, but I will have. But we're going to do a lot of leather videos, and we're going to do a lot of flint knapping videos, and there's going to be some bee videos, and probably just stuff messing around here at the ranch with animals and stuff like that. We're just, it's just going to kind of be like the channel's going to be more or less a video blog, but have some learning stuff in it. Probably ain't none of it right, but it's how I do it. I've been doing this leather gig full time for 12 years now, actually longer than that, 13 years, and I do fairly well at it. So some people must think I'm doing it right. Others probably don't. But anyhow, hit that like button and just smash that dude, and hit the subscribe button. If you didn't enjoy this that much, I'm going to have some stuff you will enjoy, so you'll get those notifications. Y'all have a great day. Alright, so I'm going to try to attempt to shoot a edging video here. First video in my other working stuff. We've got a rattlesnake rifle sling here. Hopefully you can hear me. And I have ordered a lapel microphone so y'all can hear me a little better. I know it's really difficult when we're in the rock shop. Anyways, this is one of my basic rattlesnake rifle slings with buffalo and rattlesnake inlay. And this is 2 pieces, of course. And I'm going to sand these edges. And then I'm going to pause the video. We'll go over to the other table, and I'll show you the edging process. I've got to edge this. die the edge and get it complete before I put the back on it. You can't do all that after the back's on it. I'll try and show you guys some of that, but I'll spare you some of the sanding probably. Could be loud, so if you got earphones on, you might hopefully don't blow your eardrums out. All right, let's get started. One more thing. So I got two different stations here. I've got this belt sander, which takes the heavy stuff off. I've already trimmed this back, and but it evens everything up really good, real fast in the belt sander. And this is a much finer. I think this is 120 grit, and it's pretty well wore out. I use that. I try not to burn the edges, but if it happens, it happens. But let's do it. That's it for the initial sanding. We'll turn this one on, and we'll go with that. If I see any spots that need a little heavier sanding, we might switch back to that. That's it. You can see it got a little hot there, but it's pretty well smooth and put together here. We're going to go over to the other bench, and I'm going to bevel the edges, and then we're going to start the process of slicking the edges.